Hello and welcome to another Dominaria Draft League. This is Old Man Poole. We've opened up a pretty sweet rare here. Probably going to pick up Forebear's Blade. I guess it's Forebear's Blade. I'd always kind of read it as Forebearers. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that I'm excited about. I mean, there's good cards in this pack, but nothing as good as Forebear's Blade. This is nice because it's colorless. I think it's very playable in just about any archetype. Knight of Malice and Whisper Blood Liturgist are good black cards we're pitching around the table. Actually, this pack is only okay outside of that. Sapling Migration's fine, Even Sentry's fine. Some other, like, borderline playable cards. Let's take Forebear's Blade. I need to remember, too, to say thanks to all you guys out there that have subscribed, all you that comment and like my videos. It really does mean a lot to me. Helps people find me on YouTube, and if you haven't subscribed, you enjoy the videos, definitely subscribe. I post every Tuesday and Saturday, and love to hear from you guys in the comments. Really appreciate it. I think you guys are the absolute best. Alright, we can continue drafting here. We got good blue and white. I'm honestly a little bit tempted by the Skittering Surveyor here, too. I really like having a couple of copies of this, or at least one in most decks, since you can often find something to splash with. I think that both Blessed Light and Blink and I are better than Merfolk Trickster, although not by maybe miles. I've been actually a little bit unimpressed with blue in this set. It feels like it should be good, but I haven't had luck putting together decks. I might just take the Blessed Light here. I could see Baird being a good pickup. It's definitely a fine card. It is a legend, which is a powerful payoff kind of all on its own. Alright, we've got Mirari Conjecture, which I think is actually a fine card. I don't think it's, like, incredibly early pick or a bomb or anything like that, but I think if you are playing a slower deck that's got some good removal, you're happy to have the Conjecture. I think we're just going to take Call the Cavalry here, though. It's a very good, very cost-effective card. 2 2/2s with Vigilance for 4 is great rate. And it fits in with our Blessed Light that we just picked up, so happy to see that. Also, works well with Forebear's Blade. Ooh, okay, and we just got a kind of a late Triumph of Gerard here, too. I do think this card is pretty good. It definitely encourages a little bit more aggressive gameplay, but this can have some really crazy fast starts. You play like a 2-drop and then Triumph of Gerard the next turn, you swing for probably 3 points, next turn you swing for 4, and then all of a sudden your opponent's dying pretty quickly. They can't block it the turn after that. If you play this early, it tends to make like the biggest creature on the battlefield for a considerable amount of time. I do like Garna the Blood Flame a fair amount, but I think we're just going to take the on-color card. I think they're not crazy far off each other in power level. Ooh. Wow. Wow, this pack's really good. So I was first drawn by Ratification, which is definitely good. We've also got a 2-headed Giant, though, and a Call of the Cavalry. And, like, Adamant Will, like, this pack's pretty nuts. I think that is a pretty late 2-headed Giant. I feel like Red's been a little bit underwhelming to me as well in the set, just because I feel like there are a lot of very high power level red cards that you'll pick early on, but it's not as deep as I would like. So I feel like there often ends up being too many red drafters at a table, and you just don't get the good cards because the color's not all that deep. People pick a good card early and then stick it out too long. But since 2-headed Giant did come around 3rd or 5th pick here, I think I'm just going to take that. Ratification's maybe arguably better. They're pretty close, I think. They both commit us to another color, but I think I like the 2-headed Giant. This is a 4/4 that has a occasionally very relevant combat ability. With Forebear's Blade, it's going to be pretty good too. Kind of hitting a blank here, though. I like having Invoke the Divine as a sideboard card, but I usually can pick those up a little bit later. Bloodstone Goblin has been extraordinarily unexciting to me. We could pick it up and just try and be kind of an aggressive beatdown deck with Triumph of Gerard. I do think beatdown is viable in this set, but it's not often where I want to be. Don't like Sarah Disciple much. Yeah, I guess let's take the Goblin. I don't know, maybe we should have taken Ratification. We did have one historic card already, which maybe could have gotten there. Okay, a little bit of a turning point here. We can take either Keldon Overseer, which is a good beatdown aggressive card, or we can take Sergeant at Arms, which is a little bit more on the defensive side. I think Sergeant at Arms is better, but if we are in an aggro deck, Keldon Overseer probably takes the cake. I kind of like having lots of tokens, though, to go along with Forebear's Blade, and I'm also more likely to be in white than red, although maybe not by miles at this point. Red is seeming fairly open, so... Gitu Chronicler I like quite a bit. It's great to be able to bring back something like Blessed Light in the late game. Definitely on the slower side, but I guess if we're picking things like Sergeant at Arms, we're going in that direction. Triumph of Gerard is the main draw we have towards kind of an early aggressive deck. So Chronicler or Pegasus Courser, I guess, are the realistic picks here. I think I like Chronicler better. Pegasus Courser is definitely fine, though. Maybe I'm just underrating the aggressive cards in this set, though. Keldon Warcaller, pretty unexciting. Maybe borderline playable. Okay, getting Invoke the Divine there is nice. And sure, Keldon Overseer. So depending on what we end up with in our next pack, we could maybe kind of shift one direction or another. We do have Forebear's Blade, which is better in games that go very long. Things like Blessed Light and Gitu Chronicler help with that. But cards like Keldon Overseer and Triumph of Gerard definitely make us want to play a fast game. Okay, I like having Fervent Strike. If we end up being aggressive, Fervent Strike's a very reasonable card. And Devant Trapper, not bad either. I do think that we're in a relatively open color pair, which is nice. I'm not in love with red-white in general, but we definitely did get a good number of playables, so... Okay, out of this pack I think we're just going to take Seal Away. This is pre-premier removal. It, again, is a little bit better when you're playing a slower game, since it doesn't necessarily hit a lot of your opponents like defenders. I think that's okay. Garner of the Blood Flame is good. Fiery Intervention's fine, but yeah, I think that Seal Away is our best card here by a fair margin. Urza's Ruinous Blast I think is okay, but not fantastic. It is a board wipe, and I actually like board wipes in slower sets, but the fact that it doesn't hit like some of your opponent's best cards a lot of the time does hurt a lot, and we're not crazy all in on Legendary as it is. Okay, there is a Baird now. Also Fungal Plots. Man, I really want to get this card going. One of these days I want to like first pick it and be super excited, but not this draft. I think we're probably just going to take Baird here and just resign ourselves to a slower deck, in which case we need to get some more like flyers, something that goes over the top. Because as it stands right now, Forebear's Blade's the only thing we're really excited about going into the late game. Yeah, I don't think there's anything real exciting here outside of that, though. We could have had double Fungal Plots. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Everything is all right. We could take Urza's Tome. Not super all in on Historics right now, but this is another late game engine. Banalish Honor Guard's pretty unexciting. Aether Glider's pretty unexciting. It is a flyer, but not one I'm real happy with. Take Urza's Tome here. Okay, in that case, we're cutting things like Keldon Warcaller, probably Bloodstone Golem, or Goblin. Triumph of Gerard's probably just good enough we should keep it, even if this isn't its best deck. I worry so far this deck is just a little bit too average, maybe? But, like, I worry that we're not going to have enough power to really get our opponents in a format that's quite powerful, but I guess we're going to stay the course and hope we get some good rares or something in the last pack. Call of Cavalry versus Chronicler. Guess I'm just going to take another Cavalry. I think Chronicler's more likely to wheel. Is there any chance it comes back? 1, 2... probably not. Maybe. Depends on how open red is. I think the best card in the pack is Urgaros by a fair margin, but we're a ways away from black here. Ooh, wow. Okay, so those are both... There's a lot of stuff we want in this pack. I think Fight with Fire is better than Haphazard Bombardment. Kills me to say that, because I would love to play this card. I think Fight with Fire is just the correct pick. It's also nice because if we do play for maybe a little bit of a longer game, Fight with Fire is another way we can kill our opponent. Is there any chance we get stuff back out of this pack? There is, honestly. This pack's pretty good. Voldaean Arcanist is maybe not great, but we might get like Kelvin Raider. Maybe Knight of Benalia is more realistic. Yeah, we're gonna take Fight with Fire. I think there's no way we get Haphazard Bombardment, which is unfortunate. And this pack has almost Stone Cold Nothing for us. Guess we take Goblin Warchief. Yeah, I guess, whatever. Goblin Barrage. There's also an Isolated Chapel. How are we doing on removal? We're a little bit light right now, aren't we? We have Seal Away, Blessed Light, Fight with Fire. Goblin Barrage isn't particularly efficient, but it is still removal. I think the other thing we'd maybe consider is the Isolated Chapel, but we're not actually splashing for anything we know of just yet. I think you can pick those up fairly highly, the dual lands, though, since there are so many good opportunities to splash in this format. Sorcerer's Wand. Maybe a sideboard card in a really slow matchup. I don't think we're going to play Power Stone Shard pretty much in any case. Everything else here is off color. There's a Garna. Really don't like Sarah Disciple much. Yeah, let's take Garna. Not sure we would play it or not, but it is another power card. There's a Navigator's Compass. Guess if we really need the fixing. I don't think Short Sword is necessarily what we want. It does work with Urza's Tome. Don't have a ton of creatures as it stands right now. I guess Call the Cavalry counts though, so it's actually like 9 and 8 here so far. Yeah, I guess I'll take the Compass. I think this card is pretty bad, and most of the time you should just not play it, but having it as an option if we open just like a nut rare maybe is good. Seems like we got a fair amount of black that came around this pack. Ooh, yeah, we got the Keldon Raider back. That's super nice. I have come down a little bit on Keldon Raider from my initial evaluation. I think the 4/3 body matters a little bit less than I would have hoped, but it's still a good card. Alright, there's a lot of stuff for us here. A Jousting Lance, which would give us one more way to kind of go over the top. I think we're probably just going to play Danitha, though. First Strike, Vigilance, Lifelink, pretty good. It's I think a 2/2 that you're okay playing for 3 on its own, and if we do get to like equip it up, it scales very, very well. Skizzix is fine. Hurts a little bit to be passing Aven Century, since I think we need cards like that. But let's take the Paragon here. I guess we're taking Evra? Is that or like Bloodstone Goblin or Flame of Keld? I feel like Evra is not actually that fantastic, but yeah, I think it's fine. It is big, is a pretty powerful finisher. It is legendary, which is nice. Ooh, we got Arvad as well. We also have a Shivan Fire. Right now we actually have a decent amount if we can splash for black, which is by no means guaranteed at this point, but we do have a decent amount of legendaries. Shivan Fire is definitely the safe pick. What are the odds we actually get to splash? I really would rather not use Navigator's Compass if we can avoid it. Yeah, I guess we're going to take Shivan Fire. That feels like a little bit of a cop-out, but ooh. Two really good opportunities here. We have Danitha, which is fantastic. We've also got Unsara's Wings. I think we're going to take Unsara's Wings, the first one here. It makes a big flyer, which potentially is how we can try and finish off the game. It's pretty good with Danitha, if we can equip her up. Yeah, I think Unsara's Wings seems good. There's also a slight disadvantage of playing 2 Danithas because they are legendary. That isn't a huge consideration, but it's not 0 either. Oh, there's another one. Good night. We take that over Triumph of Gerard? Probably. Okay, Danitha it is. We'll just have to make sure we don't play it twice. That definitely sounds like something I'm going to do at some point, is playing my legendary uncommon and then another legendary uncommon. I think there's basically no chance of a Skittering Surveyor at this point, which is unfortunate, but oh well. Don't think we need Run Amok. We could consider playing Short Sword now. Definitely works well with those two. Yeah, I could see taking Short Sword. I could also see taking Jorah's Familiar. Making our historic cards cheaper isn't a huge deal. It is a flyer. Yeah, let's take Short Sword. I think I'm actually okay playing one at this point. Ooh, and we got Tiana. That's pretty nice too. Sorcerer's Wand, still not a bad sideboard card, but we already have the one. Yeah, we'll take Tiana for sure. It's a 3/3 flying first strike, and on the off chance that you do get value from the aura equipment, cool. It's kind of nice because if this card is equipped, I believe the aura will come back off of it. but oh, sorry, the equipment will stay on play, but if you have an RN chanting it, it'll come back. Happy with Tiana. I think that Garna is truly out at this point, unfortunately. That's okay. Kind of a close pick here, actually. We would like Adamant Will as a combat trick, but I think we're just going to take Memorial to Glory. We're doing okay on playables, and having these is just extra value in the late game is awfully nice. Okay, Even Sentry came around. I'm happy with that. I think we'll make the deck. Really not high on Flame of Keld. I have played a 1-mono red deck in the format that played 3 of these like subsequently, and I got really, really dead. But I think most of the time it's not exciting. Excavation Elephant. I guess maybe like a sideboard card if they bring in Artifact Hate. I really don't like the Goblin much. Another Radiating Lightning for the sideboard. And Glider, I guess. Champion the Flame. If my opponent has like no removal, maybe we'd try and get that going. Okay, I think the deck came together fairly well. It's maybe a little bit clumsy. I think that if... I could see this being a draft that I looked at down the line in the format and say, oh man, I really should have played X instead of X, but as it stands, this looks not bad. Alright, let's group our creatures out. So definitely a little bit light on the 2-drop slot. What do we want to cut out of this pack? We're at 25 right now. I do think I kind of like Short Sword between Tiana, 2 Danathas. Thought we had one other payoff. I guess the 2-headed giant's not bad. Even just equipping up Ebra seems fine. Oh, Onsar's Wings is kind of the other nice payoff. I feel like we maybe have a little bit too many non-creatures. I guess Call the Cavalry are creatures, though. I guess I think we cut Aether Glider. I'm not sure we need the flyers to get in, and it obviously can't block, so that means it's kind of bad in a lot of cases. Could cut Keldon Overseer. It's maybe just a little bit aggressive. I'm worried that we're a little bit too top-heavy, though. We have only 1 2-drop. We're only playing... I guess Danatha is a pretty good defensive creature. Yeah, I do worry about that, though. I wonder if it's correct to cut, like, Urza's Tome. It's slow. Yeah, maybe Urza's Tome's like a sideboard option, depending if we're playing a slightly slower deck that I don't think we're going to be able to take advantage of. Okay, let's do something like this. We played the Memorial of Glory, and then 8 other lands. I feel pretty okay with that. We have some good sideboard options, and I think overall the deck looks pretty reasonable. Let's add in lands. Deck recommends heavier on white. I think I agree with that. It's a little bit awkward because we want double red for like Keldon Raider and 2-headed giant on turn 4. So maybe 10-7 is too much. We are definitely more white than we are red, though. I think it's still too much. Let's do 9-8. Add those to the deck. Yeah, looks sweet. I'll see you guys for match 1. Hello and welcome back for match 1. We have a reasonable hand here, I think. A little bit slow. We're going 1-drop, sort of, 3-drop, 5-drop. That's okay. Let's go ahead and keep. Early interaction and then a 3-drop play. We don't really have 2s is good. And then Tiana eventually is pretty powerful, so... Ooh, I think I'm going to play Memorial to Glory? I guess, no, we should keep up Shivan Fire. Even though it's not real likely to matter. We have very few 2-drops, and the one that we have, we don't really want to play next turn anyway, so I guess we should just wait. That way we can keep up Shivan Fire both turns if it's relevant. Ooh, black-green. So that usually means Saprolings. Okay. Unkicked Skin Witch, I'm not particularly scared of. Forebear Blade is good. Okay. So yeah, let's play Memorial to Glory, and we'll just pass here. This card is actually, I think, pretty playable, pretty good, but you really do want to kick it unless you're getting really beaten down. I guess my opponent's maybe expecting an aggressive start, given red. Maybe not bad. Oh, I totally F6 a little bit early there. Oh well, I'm not sure I would have used the Shivan Fire anyway, but I did move a little bit too fast for my own good there. Let's play the Trapper. And pass. Alright, so what's the plan for this next turn? We could play on Sarah's Wings and just, like, get there. I kind of want to try and land it on Tiana. Oh, okay. Vicious Offering. Okay, I'm glad that they didn't do that in response to something scary. Okay, I'm regretting a little bit not using Shivan Fire now, but... Ooh, yeah, my opponent is becoming aggressive. If they don't have more removal, though, on Sarah's Wings can definitely help us catch up. If we play Keldon Raider, do we pitch the Mountain? I think we do. We're getting 2 draws. If we find a land among them, we'll be happy we pitched Mountain. And if we don't, we can still on Sarah's Wings this. Yeah, so discard a card. That might be greedy. Okay, let's pass back. So if my opponent's got removal, they can continue to get in, but otherwise Keldon Raiders is a fine blocker. And if they're using removal, I'm happy because inevitably we'll get to get on Sarah's Wings down eventually. Okay, just going for it. So I guess if they've got a +2/+2, they probably have the big Gift of Strength. What if they have Saprolings? If they have +2/+2, they'll just pump it anyway. If they have Saproling, we don't want to block the Sap Herd. Sure, let's block like that. That plays around Fungal Infection. Ooh, Wild Onslaught. Okay, that was still better for us. Yeah, so I think we play on Sarah's Wings and just hope they're out of gas at this point. Maybe keep up Shivan Fire. They can swing for as much as 9. We do have double blocks. Or I guess we get to attack, gain some life, and then keep it up again. Yeah, we can't play short sword anyway. I think we need to try and take advantage of the lifelink at this point. So, on Sarah's Wings it is. I'm fairly confident we'll be able to get at least 1 swing in here, which is good. And when my opponent's out of removal, this is a pretty good play. We'll just have to hope they actually are out of removal. Next turn we can play... Okay, cool. So that's good. That's a lot of life drain for my opponent. Probably good enough they should just swing with everything anyway. Yeah. I don't think we can beat a combat trick here, so we're just going to block the Sap Herd. It will be bad for me if they've got something. This is also Saproling specifically, right? Yeah. We're going to go down to 5. Actually, no, we're going to gain a bunch of life. Yeah, maybe that attack wasn't great. Looks like my opponent does not have an answer for on Sarah's Wings, though, so we're looking okay. We could just try and ride that and play Forebear's Blade and equip it. That's maybe a little bit aggressive. I actually don't think Slimefoot is all that scary at this point. It is good, but we're gaining so much life. I think it might be better just to, like, play the Caretaker and then guarantee lethal the next turn, right? Because they go down to 10. Yeah. I think playing Caretaker is a nice middle ground. It's not quite as risky as playing Forebear's Blade. It still lets us leave up Shivan Fire. Let's go ahead and attack. My opponent had a pretty aggressive start. I think on Sarah's Wings pretty much single-handedly saved us here. Well, let's play Tiana. Still keeping up Shivan Fire. This is nice now too, though, because we'll get on Sarah's Wings back if they kill the Keldon Raider. I think we're pretty firmly ahead now. But that was a pretty scary start. My opponent dropped a bunch of Saprolings and Wild Onslaughted. That's kind of cool. I actually hadn't seen this art really up close yet. I like how it's like big super fungus in the background. Okay. No attacks. Baloth Gorger. Okay. And I think we should just have lethal here. Guess we won't show off the Shivan Fire. Maybe shouldn't show off well, no, we have to show Forebear's Blade, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's play the Blade. Equip up the Blade. They both have flying. I guess maybe I should put it over there, because then it gives... I guess we wouldn't have first strike either way. Okay, I think that's just going to do it. Opponent's deck looks sweet, though. I'm not sure we've got fantastic odds here. Okay, looks like we did get him for one game, though. Yeah, we're really going to want to... we're going to need some help from Sarah, I think, in this next game as well. So my opponent's aggressive enough, fast enough, that maybe we should play things like just 2-drops. We definitely want some Radiating Lightning. What seems slow? Baird seems good. Ebra seems kind of slow. Very chump blockable. Maybe we cut her. Overseer seems pretty bad against a world of 2/2s. My opponent did have a fair amount of removal, so Champion the Flame doesn't seem absurd. Maybe bring in Bloodstone Goblin. Maybe cut Short Sword for another Radiating Lightning. My opponent is in the Saprolings deck. I think this card is just fantastic for us. Overseer. Yeah, I think this is okay. Do we want to cut one more 2-drop just to make sure we don't get run over? Maybe Triumph of Gerard is... The lifelink's a big swing, though. Maybe one Call of the Cavalry bites the dust? That feels kind of not great, too. Kind of want one more 2-drop. Yeah, I honestly think that the Call of the Cavalry might be my worst of my 4s, and I think we do need to cut a 4. Obviously, this is a power downgrade, but it does make our curve just a little bit better, and I think we need to help out the curve a little bit in this matchup. We could consider cutting another Radiating Lightning. It's possible having 2 is just overkill. Ooh, I don't love this hand, but it does have 3 and 4. I think I'm going to keep. We're on the draw. Hopefully we just don't see a ton of lands. Okay, that was a good draw for sure. Now I get to go 2, 3, 4. And it's possible my opponent won't always have that aggressive of a start, but I think we have a decent shot if the game goes long, too. Okay, so if they play like a Slimefoot here, that'll be a little bit annoying. I think it's a fairly likely play for my opponent. Okay, Sapherd's not great either. There's a Shivan-Fire. Just gonna play the Trapper here, I think. Do we want to trade? It's bad value for us, but that might be about as good as the Keldon Warcaller is gonna get, honestly. I guess we're still on the defensive side, though, so I'm gonna play the Trapper. I'm just not gonna attack. But if my opponent swings in, I think I'll trade off my Warcaller for either a Combat Trip or the Sapherd. It always feels bad trading this card for something, because it's like, oh, but they already got value. But it's still a 2/2, and it's more correct, I think, just to think of it as a 2/2. Yeah, we'll just block. My opponent gets to feel like they got some value. That's alright. Okay, they do have Slimefoot here. We'll swing with our Trapper. I'm perfectly content trading those away. Okay, Forebear's Blade is good. We're gonna swing. My opponent's probably not gonna block, and then we're gonna play the 2-headed giant. And I guess hope they don't have like Eviscerate. I guess there's a crazy corner case where we'd use Shivan-Fire. I don't really think so, though. If they use like Fungal Infection, that's fine. Okay, yeah, they're just taking it. 2-headed giant. Get them, boys. And we're a little bit off of playing Forebear's Blade with the giant, but if we do, that's a pretty big game too. Almost guaranteed 2 for 1. And I like that we have Blessed Light here too. I feel like we're in a not bad spot on board. Even though Slimefoot is annoying, and a good card for sure. No play. Alright, no play. I'm going to play a land first because I want to be able to kick or Shivan-Fire or Blessed Light if something crazy happens. Maybe we don't play into Onslaught. If they have Onslaught, it kind of destroys us. I think I'm just going to swing with this. I guess if we have Onslaught and we kick Fire in response, that's not all that bad either. Yeah, maybe we just go for it still. Okay, let's see if Devilhead Giant gets anything. Nope, nothing special. I might still encourage opponent to play like a double block and a trick. Okay, Spore Swarm. Yeah, I mean, that's good. Opponent's gonna get a whole lot of triggers here. Hopefully they block... They don't, like, block everything on the 2-headed giant, because they put all their Saprolings on. Shaven Fire is still gonna be pretty good. Yeah, nice. It's fine. Just cast a fire, and then we'll play Forebear's Blade. So we get drained for a fair amount here, but we come out, I guess, a card. I guess it's 1 for 1. That stuff feels pretty good. Definitely ahead on tempo. Yeah, we're just always going to yield to these. That is a good bit of drain. I'm not going to play the Keldon Raider, I think, because we actually have good cards in hand, and I want to get value from the loot. I'm just going to play Forebear's Blade here. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, Forebear's Blade on two-headed giants potentially super scary. They have removal, but again, I feel like we're in a good space on board. Opponent swing with Slimefoot? No. Still wants to leave it back. Mammoth Spider. Okay, that's big. Yeah, I don't really see a reason not to just equip up the Forebear's Blade here. Even if it misses, it's still... I guess my opponent could double drop block and it's just a regular trade. If it hits on Menace, that doesn't do too much. Maybe we don't actually care that much. We could cast Fight with Fire and just get rid of the spider, and then swing. It is 7 damage. My opponent may not have a much better play outside of that. And it's possible we do 7, we Blessed Light their next target, then all of a sudden they're very close to dead. I wonder if we're better off casting Blessed Light and keeping up Fight with Fire. Fight with Fire is a little bit worse, but not crazy. And if we draw another land, that we could Forebear's Blade in addition to Fight with Fire the following turn. I don't like that. Yeah, I guess we're going to Blessed Light, and we're just going to swing. And that's assuming that the two-headed giant doesn't get Double Strike, too. If the two-headed giant gets Double Strike, we're crazy, crazy good. Come on, Double Strike. Nope. Heads and tails again. Swinging with our sick 4/4 for 4, which is still a good card. Don't get me wrong. This is an aggressive line, but I think I like it. Ooh, that is a card. Poof. All right. Yawgmoth's Final Offering. Definitely got punished for leaving the Slimefoot in play. All right, we'll have to remember that going forward. This card is nuts when you get to play it, but you don't always get to play it too. Okay, I think we are behind now, but not by miles. Yeah, I definitely like that attack from my opponent. Are we playing Keldon Raider at this point? I guess you just play Bloodstone Goblin, swing with the blade. We trade down, but we get in for a fair amount of damage. Yeah, I think that's okay. And we'll still have Keldon Raider the following turn, and now that we've got the Forebear's Blade train started. Oh, it's Forebear. I guess it's Forebear's Blade. Maybe that's just the correct. Maybe there is no such thing as a Forebearer. My opponent realistically has to block here. I don't think it's incorrect, but I think this is still a good play for us. We'll equip to the Bloodstone. My opponent goes down to 7. If we have like a kick spell next turn, that's very close to lethal. Or, yeah, I guess not quite, but close. Ooh, Urgors. So that's going to get fought with fire, I think. And then my opponent is getting to the point where they maybe have to block with Slimefoot. We could play Tiana. Actually, I don't hate that instead. So we swing. My opponent doesn't have fantastic blocks. They can kind of use either or. They hit with Urgros, though, then... So if they hit... Let's say we swing. They take it, go to 2. They swing with... No, because then we're going to have Tiana back up. And if they had removal, I think they'd use it. And Tiana wrecks Urgros. Oh, oops. I just passed, though. That means we're not going to get the Vigilance up. Oh, that was bad. Okay, well. Yeah, that's a pretty big mana loss. Opponent does trade off Slimefoot, so I guess we can't be too unhappy about that, but that was a hit. Yeah. I still think it's still going to be correct to play Tiana. I'd be a lot happier if Forebearer's Blade was equipped right now, though. Yeah, that was bad. I thought out what we were going to do for the turn, but my finger had other ideas. Yeah, see, that just, like, destroys us. I think that might lose us the game, unfortunately. Because if we'd had it equipped there, we look so much better. Game's still not over, but it's not looking good. Fight with fire, bites the dust. Uh-oh. Another Slimefoot. Ah, man. The pain. Yeah, let's play our Keldon Raiders. I guess we just want to play the land, because we have to discard anyway, right? Oh, I'm so sad right now, you guys. Oh, we had this game. We had it. I threw it away. Because Ancient Animus still would have been, like, fine there, but not nearly as good. Alright, we get down to 3. My opponent can make 1 Saproling, 2. Okay, so then we're just dead, right? Oh, I guess it's going to go on the stack. That's 6 toughness, though. We'd have to find, like, a removal spell in addition. Okay, Radiating Lightning actually does... Oh, no, wait. We're just off, right? Oh, man, there's no way we can make this work, is there? We're 1 land off. Because we Radiating Lightning, they go down to 2. They make Saplings in response, we're still dead. Oh, man. Yeah, I think we tossed this game. That would be 7. All they have to do is go, like, triple block, and then they go down to 1. I guess let's make my opponent do it. Oh, that hurts. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, I think that we had it for sure this game. But, proof that misclick... Oh! I guess it's not going to matter one way or the other. It's interesting my opponent didn't make tokens first. I think they may have misclicked. The game is still over, though. Alright, let's concede and try one more time. I do think having the 2-drops felt good that game. Didn't see anything for Invoke the Divine still. Alright, well, let's hope we don't get punished here. We definitely gave my opponent a way in from certain defeat. And unfortunately, this hand is very good, so... I have 2 premium removal spells, some of our better cards. Opponent has mulligan down to 6. Maybe we'll work our way out of it despite suboptimal play. Okay, just passing. Okay, another mountain's actually a very good draw there. I mean, ideally, like 2-drop into mountain probably would be the best thing we could do, but I like lands given our hand. Not looking like they're putting immediate pressure on us. Okay, yeah, the play's just going to be 2-headed giant next turn, barring pretty much anything. Ooh, trying for Gerard's not bad with Tiana, too. Can't imagine there's a counterspell here. Okay, Sap Herd is good. Let's go ahead and swing. We have removal up if we need it. Alright, we gonna get anything? Come on, 2-headed giant. Oh man, heads and tails every time. It's alright. No blocks for my opponent. Let's play Tiana. Yeah, we had a pretty good hand. It looks like my opponent had a very slow start. It's possible, what would mean they're stuck in their hand? Expensive cards, or maybe, well, I guess Yawgmoth's Vile Will is expensive too, but they didn't use removal last turn. Just tons of lands is very possible. Could have like the Spectre. Ooh, opponent sacking 2 creatures for Torgar. Well, that's not going to go great for him. Torgar is big though. So we lose 10 life. but then we have an answer for it immediately. And we get to swing my opponent for another 7. And Torgar off the Sap Herd's pretty good. Definitely a sweet play. We can also just keep up Seal Away. I guess that would let us play like Triumph of Gerard. Although that still doesn't mean the 2-headed giant can get in there. Yeah, I think I just like Blessed Light and getting in for damage. Putting my opponent really on the back foot as much as possible. And come on, double strike. One of these days, guys. One of these days, you watch. Still nothing. Well, I'm glad we didn't leave it to chance against the Torgar. Okay, so my opponent's still down to 9. Triumph isn't quite lethal next turn. But we still have 2 good removal spells in hand. Yeah, looks like my opponent just got incredibly flooded. Let's play Triumph of Gerard. 2-headed giant. You could be Gerard, right? I can see it. Come on, double strike. I want it so bad. Haha! We did it, boys. Yeah, opponent calls out the GGs. They got super screwed that last game. I'm glad we didn't end up getting punished. But yeah, I don't think they could do much more there. They mulliganed down to 6, which means their first hand was not great, and then just drew too many lands. But it's good. I'll have to go back and look at the video where you guys can let me know. It may have been correct to not swing at the Bloodstone Goblin. That now that we had the... Like, since we'd already missed the opportunity to play Tiana main phase. That was a... I don't know. That may have been an error compounding another error, but hard to tell at this point. I'll check the video a little bit later. In any case, happy to pick up match 1. See you guys for match 2. Welcome back for match 2. We got a pretty solid hand here. Got one of our few 3-drops, and then into a couple of removal spells, and eventually Tiana, who we seem to draw just about every game, and I'm not complaining. Opponent's mulligan down to 6. We are going to keep. Our lands have been very, very friendly to us so far. Ooh, Llanowar Elf. That's like my least favorite thing to see there, though. Okay. Hopefully no 5/4. I can't even remember what the card's called. If we get killed by it, I'll remember. Okay. If they're swinging with Llanowar Elf, I'm happy. Cool. Shivan Fire, I guess, still isn't bad. I wonder if we just kill Llanowar Elf at this point, or if we should hold it. They didn't have a turn 3 play. That means that we might be able to brick them on their next turn 3 if we Shivan Fire. And then we get to start playing removal spells. I think I like that. Let's just pass. Like I said, I think the potential tempo advantage of keeping my opponent from playing something this turn as well is very good. Okay, looks like they did indeed miss. Alright, well, let's play a Denethor Capation Paragon. Memorial Genius, probably still no play. Okay. Well, we actually don't have a great play this turn either. We can't use either our sorcery speed things. Next turn we can play Tiana, but this turn we ain't got nothing. We are a little bit ahead on board. My opponent does look like they're hitting land drops, which means they'll probably have something here. Sphinx, maybe? Yeah. Sphinx is good. Sphinx is good. And getting to Scry 2 means they're very, very likely to find some more action. Went bottom top. Don't hate Sergeant at Arms. I'm going to play Ship's Caretaker here. We don't have a good attack. I don't really want to use Fight with Fire to just get in for 2. Or Goblin Barrage for that matter. But let's play the Caretaker, and then next turn probably kick Sergeant at Arms. And then obviously if we find any of our equipment, we get going pretty quickly here with our team of first strikers. Alright, opponent getting in there. What you got? What you got? Gorger? Nothing. Okay, opponent willing to trade 3 damage for 3 damage is a little bit telling. Are we willing to double block? That has the potential to blow us out. Probably wouldn't, but if they swing with both, I'm not all that unhappy either. I think I'm still just going to hold removal here. I could swing for 5. Kind of like just getting the Sergeant at Arms out though, honestly. Let's just swing with Tiana. Cast with our kicker. Make some sweet 1/1s. Sergeant Arms is a card that's gone up dramatically in my estimation. I was pretty lukewarm on it at first, but I think this is definitely a card that kicker kind of makes it. Because it's kind of an okay 3-drop and kind of an okay 6-drop, but when you've got them together, you're happy. Okay, opponent unwilling to attack means they probably don't have a combat trick. So this turn we may kill the Gorger. Nothing. So that means tricks or playing on using Memorial to Genius. We're actually not that far off of casting Fight with Fire. I think I'm going to Goblin Barrage and just see if this works. If so, we get in for a fair amount of damage. I really wish one of these was instant speed, because then even if they have a trick, we could get them pretty good. Looks like it's not going to matter here, though. So there are a reasonable number of flash cards. How bad is it if they have one of the, like, 3/3 flashes? Bad, but not terrible. We give up on a lot of damage by not swinging in. This is a little bit greedy, but looks like we did not get punished, so happy for that. Now my opponent's at a pretty low life total. Okay, they're just cracking Memorial Genius, it looks like. Yeah, it's a tough way to get back from your mulligan on turn 7. Well, I think we've proved this deck can win if our opponent mulligans, but... And I guess the deck would have done pretty well last match, too, if I had not thrown it away a little bit. Okay, Mammoth Spider should seal my opponent's fate. I guess not quite. No, it does. Because we kill that, and we swing. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We also just sit on our hands. We're only 1 away from casting Fight with Fire with Kicker. We're at a pretty healthy life total. If we swing in, if we kill this, when we swing in, my opponent bounces something, blocks something, still go to 1. They're in a really tough spot. Yeah, I think we just go for lethal here. Like, what really gets me? Pounce, but we'll know about that beforehand. Or Awaken Animus, not Pounce. Sorry. Wrong set. Blink of an eye. Okay. So we have lethal then still, right? Block. Huh. Okay. Right? Block. I'm not counting wrong. Yeah, I think my opponent just misplayed, I think. Blink of an eye is good to know about, though. Because that would have actually been kind of worst case scenario for us with that play, had they used it a little bit more effectively. But did not end up mattering. Okay. So blue-green looks pretty solid, just some good creatures. Blue-green mulligans, I guess that's what we'll call it. Need to remember Blink of an Eye, especially given that we're playing things like On Sarah's Wings. I think On Sarah's Wings is just powerful enough that we should play it anyway. That is worth noting. Opponent didn't seem to be particularly aggressive. I don't think Radiating Lightning looks great. I don't think we need our 2-drops. Especially because they're going to pair so unfavorably against some of the bigger creatures my opponent can have. I think we can win a fair game. I actually don't think Urza's Tome is going to make the cut very often. We've got a little bit more just oomph than I was expecting when I was thinking of playing that. Maybe killed an Overseer is unexciting. Definitely not great. I think we're just running this back. This is, I think, the worst hand we've had, but I'm still going to keep it. We have removal, and if we find a good amount of lands, we find any of our creatures, we're doing okay. Opponent is mulligan down to 5. That is rough. But went top. 5 and top. Yeah, okay. Yeah, trying for Gerard's good if we find another creature. I think we're going to play Short Sword out, rather than playing Memorial to Glory. Do I agree with that? I guess we should play Memorial to Glory, in case we find a 2-drop then. Although we're not going to play our... what's that card called? Our Gitu Chronicler, anyway. Okay, another land, kind of whatever. Trying for Gerard is definitely not one of the sagas that you want to play onto an empty board. No other land for my opponent. Well, we're not doing much. I guess Baird eventually will get there. Definitely not punishing my opponent for a slow start, but they still do have a slow start. I did find a third land. That is a big deal. Grow from the ashes. Okay, yeah. I mean, they're not doing great, but they're on board now. Don't hate Goblin Barrage, but like I said, I'd like more creatures rather than more removal, given how poor my opponent's opening was. Assuming this doesn't die, though, next turn we do swing for 4. We can use the short sword and triumph, I mean. And opt. Alright. Look at that mana efficiency. Puts a card on the bottom from opt. And finds another land drop. Gorger, alright. And Llanowar Elf. Still don't think that changes anything. I guess we could play Danitha just because Triumph of Gerard gets better with Danitha. Yeah, I think actually making a first striker is just a bigger deal. We could get in for some immediate damage right now, but I think making sure it goes on the right target is actually a little bit more important. So let's play Danitha. Play Triumph of Gerard. And make Danitha a little bit bigger. And pass here. If they have Ancient Animus, it's a little bit of a blowout, but not huge. If they have Blink of an Eye, they just want to wait. Triumph is definitely not the best when you're paired off against. Okay, yeah. Fair enough. Still not terrible for us, though. It was a 1-for-1 that we used a little bit of our Triumph on. Ooh, and Call of Cavalry was actually a great draw. So now we can equip up the short sword, get in there, and then still play Call of Cavalry as a good backup. Alright, Baird. Do some stewarding here. Yeah, looks good. We've had actually, I think, a fairly good draw, but honestly, I'm not sure it would have mattered even in this matchup. Like, it's just really, really hard when you mold a 5. You have to have things go basically perfectly for you, and even then, sometimes it's not enough. Okay, Thorn Elemental is a good card. We're still going to get to punch my opponent fair amount with Baird. We have Seal Away, but it does stop us for a turn. Yeah, I wish we could play Call the Cavalry, but I'm not actually sure we can. I guess we could just line up a really big block against Thorn Elemental. Baird blocking actually is kind of annoying. Seal Away is good value, but maybe we should just play our Cavalry here. Probably should have re-equipped the short sword there. That may have been slightly incorrect. We're a little bit out of ways to get in damage. We do have Fight Fire with Fire, which is obviously a potential like endgame finisher. Okay. We've also got Seal Away, but that just doesn't do that much right now. Don't want to crack Memorial Glory, I don't think, because I think I'd just want to work our way up to the kicker. Do we have an attack? Not really. My opponent just blocks 2 knights. I guess they'd take... Well, I guess no, they'd block like that and like that. I guess then we'd get to trade up for Thorn Elemental. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit interesting. So suppose we swing with everything. My opponent goes like block, block. That dies. We use Goblin Barrage to kill off Thorn Elemental, get in for 6. The following turn... I feel like that's a little bit risky still. And because we just are like holding the win in our hand if we play it slowly, I think I just want to play it slowly. We have enough good removal that I'm not really afraid of an opposing bomb. And if we find something like On Sarah's Wings, or Tiana, or even just another removal spell like Blessed Light, I think that we're in a good spot. Forebear's Blade would be great. I'm sure you guys can totally not tell that I'm just reading down the list of cards. Untamed Kavu. It's a big one. Swing with the Thorn Elemental. You know you want to. You're thinking, man, I've sort of stabilized now. My opponent doesn't have good attackers. I might as well, right? What do I got to lose? And the answer, you have to lose your Thorn Elemental. If they do that, I think I would probably just Fight with Fire and Goblin Barrage and kill off their 2 other threats. Okay, my opponent thought for a little bit there, but is back. Does Thorn Elemental want to come in? The golden question. Nope, that's alright with me. And we're 1 land closer to our fight with fire. So it costs a total of 9, so we're still 2 away. I don't think it's time to shoot off a Goblin Barrage just yet. We do need to make sure that we have enough creatures to actually win post-fight with fire, since this doesn't just straight up kill my opponent, it's just very close. Okay, opponent trying it out this time. Tapping a land a little bit early. Not gonna block. Seal away, seal away, seal away the Thorn Elemental. Fun fact, I'm not sure if I've actually said this on the channel or not, but Thorn Elemental was the first rare I ever had way back in the day. So I have a special place in my heart for this card. I don't think it's particularly good, but I do like it a lot. Okay, blink of the eye. Fair enough. So let's see. Now what's the line become? Now the line could be, since we have 7 mana, shoot, shoot, swing for a ton. And my opponent doesn't have anything else. I guess we don't want to sack the Memorial though, then, right? If we swing with everything, my opponent like chumps blocks, goes to 4, and they're probably still dead. 1 more land does make it awfully appealing to wait for fight with fire. We could swing with, we could just shoot the Kabu and swing with, or the Baloth Gorger and swing with everything else. And then say, hey, if we find a land, we're getting there. It's not that much different, is it? Chump block, though. And my opponent goes down to 4, which means any 2 of our threats are lethal. I think that's just good enough. So let's cast Fight with Fire. What if they have it? Ooh, well, I guess let's do Goblin Barrage first. See if they have an instant speed trick. Nope, doesn't look like it. Yeah, I think my opponent was in pretty deep trouble regardless in this game. Again, rolling to 5 is just so hard. But as it stands, I think they're still pretty dead. Well, cool. I mean, 2-0, I think a little bit on the back of my opponent's just not drawing particularly well. But the deck still seems good, seems sweet. Hopefully we can pick up match 3. Alright, we're back for match 3, as is usual for this series, I guess. My opponent's mulligan down to 6. I'm going to keep, this hand's not fantastic, but I don't think it's a mulligan either. Seal away definitely helps quite a bit. And we have a lot of power in this hand, we just don't have a great curve, so hopefully my opponent's not crazy aggressive, because we could lose to a crazy aggressive start, for sure. Opponent, put a card on the bottom, maybe he's looking for their second color. Okay, Keldon Raiders actually definitely do not hate. We're going to probably play Forebear's Blade this next turn. G2 Chronicler, no effect. I am okay with that. I'm not really aggressive enough that Chronicler on the 1-3 really matters that much. We'd much rather get out of their hand early. I can understand the urge to get some like boots on the ground though, actually play something in the first couple of turns. I think if I was my opponent I still would have sandbagged it, but I don't necessarily think that's incorrect either. Alright, blue-red. Ooh, okay, and then they're aggressive. Adeliz is a good card for sure. Okay. Kinda wish they'd played that last turn, honestly, because we could have sealed away, but it is what it is. Let's play our Keldon Raider, and I am going to pitch... Yes, we are going to discard something. Do we care on the colors? I guess I should pitch red since we've got more white things in our hand. Maybe it's possible we'd like Seal Away plus Evra down the line. It's going to be a ways away, but... Alright. So we're probably still taking a couple points of damage this next turn from Adeliz. This is also a little bit unfortunate because Onsar's Wings, I think, is close to at its worst in this matchup. There's just a lot of instant speed shenanigans that can go on that interrupt it. But on the other hand, the lifelink is a really big deal too, so kind of goes both ways. Adeliz is very good. I think in a lot of ways it kind of makes the deck all on its own. So I think here we're going to play Danitha and keep up Seal Away. But yeah, this card's good. 2/2 Flying Haste for 3 is already pretty absurd, and it gives all your wizards kind of prowess. That's pretty good too. Let's swing with our Keldon Raider. I think my opponent might be anticipating a Forerunner's Blade. Equip. They may also have counter magic. I guess I don't hate that or care too much about that though. Okay, well, I'm just happy to take that. And let's play Danitha and have Seal Away available. So because we drew Memorial to Glory rather than some other land, we actually don't have access to Forebear's Blade. Okay, Shivan Fire. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I really can't do much about it. Good for my opponent. Getting rid of one of our powerful lifelinkers, certainly. It also paves the way for an extra attack next turn. The dream would be they play a spell and get in, but I don't think that's likely. I think we're just going to have to Seal Away on Adeliz. If they have Syncopate, we'd get kind of wrecked. Deep Freeze, okay. It's kind of awkward. I guess they're worried about getting beaten down. That means a Chronicler's not going to be able to attack for the immediate future, though. Happy to Seal Away here, though. This is a dangerous card and should not be left alive. So Deep Freeze actually ends up, even though I don't think it's great value in general, it does make our next turn pretty bad. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, let's play Evra. It's a good card to hold on to the Forebear's Blade with, certainly. Alright, let's see if my opponent can remove that somehow. They have, like, Goblin... What's that card? I even have it in the deck, I can't remember. Goblin Barrage? Yeah, Goblin Barrage, or Fight with Fire, or Fiery Intervention. There are a lot of cards that get there. Alright, well, need to find creatures. I guess Memorial to Glory will get there eventually. Or Sergeant at Arms is great. Really, really good. Let's just go wide in a very real way. Forebear's Blades. Really going to work well with it. Still have on Sarah's Wings as well. Yeah, that actually probably was up there as one of the best creatures we could have drawn. So we are out of removal. If my opponent plays something really balmy, it's not great for us. Under Sphinx is good. Not sure it quite falls into the really balmy category, but it is powerful. What are we hoping to draw at this point? I don't even know. Stuff. We're hoping to draw stuff. Yeah, I think at this point, though, we're going to start doing the Forebear's Blade dance. Yeah, Call to Cavalry's not bad. Do we just put this on a soldier? Especially with Call to Cavalry active. Yeah. Let's get in there with Sergeant at Arms. My opponent might trade the Cloud Reader Sphinx for it, but I'm not unhappy if that happens. Our deck seems pretty good. I honestly was not, like, overwhelmed with it at first, but it's been putting up results, and I think our draws have been good enough and our plays have been powerful enough that even without the mulligans, we'd be able to be picking up games. Although, the mulligans definitely help. Okay, opponent not interested in trading. It's maybe kind of delaying the inevitable, but I can understand that logic as well. It's hard to throw yourself into it. Firefist Adept. Okay, that's pretty good. So it gets to snipe a random wizard or a random knight here. And is a 3/3 to boot. Ooh, getting in there, huh? That makes me tempted to try and go for it with On Sarah's Wings. My opponent's tapped out. It would be a pretty big swing. We could just play it slow and play Baird. That also means it's maybe likely my opponent taps out. I'm a little bit worried we're not going to have a great time to plant On Sarah's Wings, and if we do it now, at least we'll get in one pretty big hit. But maybe we should just be okay trading and play Baird. We're not at a crazy low life total as it is. We'll probably still be able to get value out of this at some point, somehow. Alright. Get him, Sergeant at Arms. I guess I'd had 7 mana, maybe I should have cooked it over to the Knight, since this is a slightly better trade for my opponent. I don't know how often that'll be relevant, but probably non-zero amount of times. Okay, just wanting to chump. Not great. Let's play Baird. Is there any Immolating Inferno, I guess? There's no like board wipe here, though, that would get us. Can't use the Memorial to Glory. Wonder if we should move it over to Baird at this point. No, I don't think so, actually. Sergeant at Arms is something that couldn't attack otherwise, but Baird can. Ooh, Helm of the Host. Alright, that's a card. We're gonna have to win quickly. It also will encourage my opponent just not to swing here, I think. Yeah. Okay, Short Sword's another nice one. So we can play Short Sword on Sarah's Wings, swing with Sergeant at Arms. It's not just lethal, is it? That gets in the air. My opponent realistically blocks there. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, not quite yet. Ooh, Helm of the Host is scary, though. I think this is one of the best limited cards. Admittedly, I've only seen it in sealed, so maybe it's slow in a lot of decks, but seems strong to me. It definitely could be worse in draft, but it seems strong. Seems strong. I kind of dig how much vigilance we have in this deck, too. So my opponent's definitely in block mode. I would imagine that's just going to be Fire Fest Adept onto the Sergeant at Arms, but maybe not. Rather keep the Adept, huh? Okay, I mean, that's not bad. My opponent gets to shoot a Knight. Okay, yep. And we are going to equip this over to a Soldier, I think. Just a random Soldier. Rather than Baird. Maybe that's... Well, no, it's not going to matter. It's only a toughness boost anyway. So my opponent equips up Helm of the Host, they're dead. My opponent has like a bounce spell. They get to get Baird, but we still get to equip up a couple of soldiers and get in for some real damage. Probably have them here. Opponent's deck looks good, though. I am concerned. Deep Freeze. Okay, fair enough. So what if they have a bounce spell? Ah, well, we're gonna Goblin Barrage, and that probably doesn't matter then. Guess we'll equip up a soldier other than that soldier. And even through a bounce spell, we should be able to win here. Okay, got there. Ooh, man. I feel like I've never really seen the blue-red, like, Wizards deck really open for me, but I just live in, like, complete terror of its existence. Especially with Helm of the Host. Alright. Probably gonna have to just hope my opponent doesn't draw that. Is that enough for Invoke the Divine on its own? It might be. Opponents... Not... The problem with bringing in cards like Bloodstone Goblin and Champion the Flame is I think most of the time they're playing cards like Adeliz and they're flyers anyway. So they don't block what you need them to block. Evra seems kind of unexciting. The lifelink is nice. The activated ability is not. It is expensive. This just runs into a whole lot of bounce or other things. Evra bites the dust. Do we want to bring in anything else? You know, I really don't think so. Alright, well. Our last game here, hopefully, and we still have a good draw, so. Opponent has kept 7, though. Uh-oh. We're actually have to play a real game here, I think. Okay, Shivan Fire is a great opening card, and actually that was a great draw, too. So I think it's very likely we'll shoot something over the next couple of turns. And not gonna shoot that, though. I guess they just want synergy for having a wizard? I guess? Okay, it does make Keldon Overseer as a 3-drop play worse, but fortunately we drew Danitha, which is fine. Adeliz gets played, we're shooting it. Okay, opponent's getting in there with Arcane Flight. So I'm a little bit worried to play Danitha because I think it's likely my opponent has Shivan Fire. But on the other hand, I'm not really sure what to do otherwise. We could just fight with fire and make my opponent waste their mana, potentially. Although if they're using Shivan Fire, I'd rather them kill off, like Danitha probably, than Two-Headed Giant. We could play Keldon Overseer, which is something I care a little bit less about. Yeah, maybe let's play the Overseer. Maybe try and bait removal. I think if my opponent's got it, they'll probably use it. Well, they may actually be F6 here. It doesn't look like it. Unwilling to utilize it, if they have it. Ooh, Warcry Phoenix. Alright, alright. Opponent's getting in for damage. Okay, leaving the Chronicler back, though. I like that. Could just use Goblin Barrage to clean that out. I think we're still just going to build out towards Two-Headed Giant. They have Shivan Fire. They have to use up everything. Get in for another 2. It's not great for us, but it's not bad either. And if they don't have an answer for the Giant, we're in, I think, pretty good shape, seeing as how we have a Shivan Fire in hand. Okay, getting in for 4. Might mean they have just a follow-up here, which is fine as well. Probably be able to kill it. Powder Sphinx. A good card, but one that still is going to die to Goblin Barrage. Trapper doesn't change anything, I don't think. We're just going to play Barrage and swing. And hope for that double strike. Yeah, I think that we just got to get rid of this. I don't think we have a better line. I guess we could fight with Fire and Shivan Fire. It's more conservative. It's probably not terrible. If we get rid of this, creatures you control may attack. It's definitely more conservative. What are the odds that we would just die out of nowhere, though? Probably not super high, but if we take like 4 and my opponent plays a good threat, then we still block. My opponent's actually close to like dead at that point, so they have to maybe play conservatively. On the other hand, is this one of those games where we just got too few lands and too many cards, so the tempo is more important? It might be. Alright. Yeah, let's keep up Shivan Fire, I guess. If they play Adelies, we want to be able to get it for sure. Come on, double strike, double strike, double strike, double... Ooh, baby! Ooh, baby! Oh, man. This game did just get easier. I was unlucky for my opponent. That is a 4-4 for 4 that 1 out of 4 times just wins you the game sometimes. I like that. If they have removal, I think they have to shoot the Giant. Oh, no, not Bolus's Clutches. I kind of thought about that like half a second too late there. Alright. Or Two-Headed Giant. We don't have any way we can just kill my opponent, do we? Shivan Fire... I think we are going to remove this. Okay, Triumph of Gerard is actually kind of an interesting one. Still tight on mana. If we do that, we get to swing and we'll trade with the Chronicler, but then Two-Headed Giant's up. Goblin Barrage. Shoot. My opponent's down to 1 card in hand. They've just drawn so many more lands than us. I think let's just play it slow and steady here. If we draw like a land next turn, we could play Danitha. I guess Triumph and Danitha don't work if Keldon Overseer's on the battlefield, but... Okay, opponent got a sick 2-for-1 within Bolus's Clutches there. I think we're still doing okay, though. Oh no, Helm of the Host. Oh dear. Well, they won't get the kicked effect, at least. That would be nuts. Oh, I guess they don't actually have a target for it right now. So yeah, I guess let's play Triumph of Gerard. Ooh, or we play Trapper first, because that's a Saga. Then we get in for 4. Ooh, that feels good. The Dream. I didn't think I'd ever get to actually activate this card, but look at us, we're activating this card. And now this card no longer has to trade, necessarily. Ooh, yeah, we got here. We got there, folks. That land drop. Man, our draws have been on point this match, or this series. Like, I feel like we play a lot of opponents that have played pretty reasonable games, and other than us throwing 1 game for basically no reason, we, I think, could have got pretty close to a run. They got the blink. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Next turn, they can equip up Helm of the Host. That will take over. Imagine that's going to be the line here. Ooh, Journey Mage. Journey Mage is much worse for us with Helm of the Host. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Maybe we didn't even have lethal, because Helm of the Host would have been bad for us regardless. Okay, so we missed out on Triumph of Gerard. Unfortunate. We play Chronicler, we can't actually keep up. Although Chronicler into Fight with Fire eventually might kill my opponent too. So I think we play Danitha plus the Trapper. We're not going to get any value out of Triumph of Gerard that way. Plus my opponent's just going to bounce something next turn. Ooh. Yeah, I'm starting to feel not as happy about our situation here. Okay, well, I think this is our best too. Keldon Overseer, I think, is just a little bit worse. We could have tapped something down there. But, oh well. I don't think it matters either. Helm of the Host is a beating. On the other hand, if we get to finally win off Fight with Fire, that would be pretty cool. Yep. Quips. Yep. Bounces something. Probably Danitha, just because it's got first strike. Goodness, this card is a beating. We're still 3 lands away at best from being able to get the Chronicler going too. Interesting. Just gonna play conservatively? Okay. I don't think that's bad. Yeah. Flying, first strike, vigilance, lifelink, not much else. I guess we're casting Chronicler now? Or just 2 3-drops. Baird, I don't think matters too much on the board. Much worse than a land, I think, given our current predicament. Since I think realistically our only way we're winning is off of Fight with Fire. Is this a May effect? No, it's not. So if we ever get to the point where we only have Chronicler in play, I guess we could keep playing it and bouncing stuff. This Chronicler with Arcane Flight's actually been a little bit annoying. But this is the part where this card just really takes over. Being able to unsummon something every turn is a huge tempo edge, in addition to just getting a 3-2. Like a free Academy Journey Mage a turn is going to be hard to beat. Okay. So I guess they bounce like Trapper again. And this time swing with 2. I think this is probably beyond our reach now. And man, it was all hubris. I was saying such nice and... actually might be a little bit greedy. What if we can make this fly and get in? I think I'm just going to take it. Seal away. Yeah, I mean... that is as it is. You can also play Trapper and then try and get them with, like, Baird next turn. No, because something's just going to bounce. Like, that's not going to do anything. Yeah, alright. I think this is a little bit hopeless, but don't want to turn it in just yet. Even though looking at my deck, I can't really see a way we win. I really do dislike giving up before I am absolutely confident the game is in my opponent's hands. I'm pretty confident here, but that seal away gave us just enough hope, I guess. So we're just probably super dead now, right? So they take Baird so they can attack. Swing with everything. We seal away. That Academy Journey Mage. Block there. Block. Dead. Alright. GG. Darn. All hubris. I was like, oh yeah, our deck's winning all the games. What's my opponent possibly do? Helm of the Host. It's a good card. Still don't think I really love anything else. Yeah, I think we're just gonna run it back. Alright, well, would like to play first, and our deck can draw no bad hands. Definitely not a complaint. One has Kept, which is an ill omen for us, since we... actually, I can't remember all the hands we played. I just remember my opponent's mulliganed a miserable amount. Okay, another land, perfectly fine there. Next turn we'll play Keldon Overseer. And, ooh, no G2 Chronicler for the first time. It's very possible this just gets shot, but that's alright. If it doesn't, the value. Opponent kind enough to let me attack before shooting it if they've got something, which they don't. The dream. Next turn we have Call of Cavalry, which will be pretty good. Deep Freeze. Fine by me. A good card, but obviously not backbreaking, especially because we have Ansara's Wings in our hand, and we would like to be able to get even a little bit more value. So getting rid of any of my opponent's potential interaction is a good thing. No play. Suspicious. Is there anything that blows us out for 4 mana with only 1 blue? Oh, there's the wizard. It's rare, though. It'll be kind of bad for us. I'm not going to play Ansara's Wings into something. They might just be about to, like, kick the blink effect. That's very possible. Blink of an eye. Yeah, it looks likely here. Oh, ooh, interesting. Leaving up 2 still. Why would you do that? Well, it's suspicious enough I'm definitely not playing Ansara's Wings into it. I really don't know what the rationale would be there. I think you'd want the card, like, almost 100% of the time. My opponent, like, it's not like they mistapped, though, too. They thought about that long and hard. Come on, Helm of the Host. Interesting. How weird. Yeah, I don't know what my opponent was going for. Okay. Unfortunately, we still don't have much. We could Ansara's Wings and hope they're just out of interaction. It is a 6-point life swing on its own. Also Goblin Barrage, just get out of the way. We do have Seal Away still, and Invoke the Divine, which takes care of the Helm. I'd really like to get Ansara's Wings onto something a little bit better, like Tiana or... yeah, kind of anything, honestly, than a Knight. Because if they have Bounce, they just get so bad for us. On the other hand, I think they've got to have, like... maybe we should just go for it. I think they almost certainly have Shivan Fire. That's the only reason I can think of for not using Blink of an Eye there. Well, I guess that's true. If they have Shivan Eye, then they just kill it anyway. Yeah, I guess let's Goblin Barrage. I don't really love either of our options there, but I think that's best. Bloodstone Goblin. A fine, if not incredibly exciting play. And Warcry Phoenix. Okay. Do we seal away the Phoenix? Do I care? If they find another flyer, we'll wish we had. Yeah, okay. I think so much rides on Ansara's Wings here. Let's just get rid of that right now. My opponent's only got 2 cards left in hand. I was trying to feel like this is okay. I really do think we're going to run into like a bounce spell, but we're out of other stuff to do. Might as well get in, right? It's a poor man's legendary knight, but it'll have to do. Helm of the Host. You get nothing. You get nothing. Now we even get to leave up Invoke the Divine to get rid of it in response. Ooh, yeah. And they didn't have an answer to the knight, so... evil cackles continue. Swing for 4. So the wizard would be really bad for us. There's actually a bunch of stuff that would be really bad for us. But if all they've got is equip here, I'm happy. Quite happy. Who's Queen Vesuva? Journey Mage? Doesn't do much. They're going to equip up the Journey Mage. Okay. I mean, that's a little bit better. Invoke the Divine? Yes. I guess that's the downside of Helm of the Host. That's a pretty big tempo loss for my opponent. I think we've almost certainly got him here. They're out of cards. We have a 2-turn flying clock. We have Blessed Light, which doesn't answer interaction for our opponent, but even if they can get rid of this, we're still going to be at 35 life. And we're not that far behind on board. Sarah's Wings, did you manage to do work even in the face of insurmountable blue-red odds? No attack from my opponent. I definitely would not have blocked. Alright. Man, this guy needs a name. We already used Greg. That's like my favorite name. Hey, cool! Our first 3-0 actually in the format, too. The dream. Look at that. A beautiful trophy. Our first. I've had a whole lot of 2-1s, but never been able to go quite the distance, so glad we got there. This deck seemed really good. It looked reasonable on the surface, and I think it played better than it looked. I think we were also fairly lucky as far as how the draws played out. We didn't have any mulligan problems, and I think we curved out more than is reasonable considering what our deck actually looked like. But we even beat Helm of the Host, our nemesis up until now. Yeah, it seemed very solid. I was impressed by Danitha. Forebear's Blade was great the couple times we played it. Tiana was good. Yeah, really no complaints. Unsarah's Wings definitely performed. I know this has been kind of a divisive card. Some people are down on it because it is an aura, but if your opponent can't answer it, +1/+1, Flying Vigilance, and Lifelink, that's pretty nuts. If you play it on any reasonable sized creature, odds are they're not going to be able to block it, since flying creatures are just smaller than ground creatures most of the time. And then Vigilance really puts your opponent in a tough spot. Try for Gerard never did absurd things for us, although I think we were a little bit too slow of a deck to have it at its best. Ebra continues to be kind of unexciting. Played it once and it got killed, which has kind of been my experience with it. But yeah, I mean, the deck seemed sweet. Maybe it would have been a little bit sweeter had our opponents drawn just a little bit better, but I like the deck as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like I said, if you're subscribed, you guys are the best. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe, and then you can become one of the best. I'll see you guys next time.